There are 35 new cases reported today, 33 in Auckland and 2 in Wellington, bringing the outbreak to 107 cases in total. 6 days into the outbreak, we are building a picture of Delta's spread. We have identified the source of the outbreak, a returnee from New South Wales, who was briefly at the Crown Plaza on the 7th and 8th of August before testing positive and being transferred to quarantine at the Jet Park. In his recent report to the government, Professor Sir David Skeggs said the Delta variant will be more difficult to control by testing and contact tracing alone. And we're already seeing that. That's why our move into an immediate lockdown was so important. Delta had a head start on us, and we needed to catch up as quickly as we could. You can see that head start in our transmission rate, or the number of people that on average each case is passing COVID-19 onto. Early estimates suggest that number may be 6 or higher. You may recall from previous outbreaks, this number needs to be less than 1 in order for the virus to be stamped out. So we have some way to go yet. As a result of the head start Delta had, and the fact that it does move rapidly and effectively, we have more than 320 locations of interest. Our more cautious approach to these locations means we also have over 13,000 contacts recorded. This heat map shows the location of our known contacts. And as you can see, they are certainly not isolated to one part of New Zealand. As I said, these are also our known contacts. For some of the very, very large locations of interest, reaching everyone will not always be a perfect process. Caution is required. Secondly, after going into level 4, we allowed people a window to get home, as we've always done. During that grace period, almost 8,000 people flew out of Auckland to get home. That was the right thing to do to allow people to isolate safely. But that means we have, in essence, had only 72 hours, with the exception of some of the movement out of Queenstown and the Inter-Islander, where everyone across the country has stayed put. And the third reason level 4 is important for all of us is because we don't yet believe we've reached the peak of this outbreak, or necessarily the edges of it. You'll recall that we pointed to early modelling suggesting we needed 8 to 10 days before we would hit a peak. We're on roughly day 7, day 6, so cases may continue to get worse before they get better, and I know we're all prepared for that. That does mean, though, that the safest option for all of us right now is to hold the course for longer. On that basis, Cabinet has decided that all of New Zealand will remain at level 4 for an additional 4 days until 11:59 p.m, Friday, 27 August. This will allow us to have additional data and assurance as to whether the virus has spread from our existing sites and how contained it's likely to be. These settings will be reviewed this Friday, and we'll give you an update in the afternoon. To give you a sense of what we'll be looking for in order to decide whether parts of New Zealand are ready to move down alert levels, we'll be looking to see if any new cases emerge outside of Auckland, whether wastewater results stay negative, and if cases do emerge in other parts of the country, whether or not they are cases that were already in isolation. For those in Auckland, I have different news. You'll see this continues to be the primary location of cases. Here we believe we know enough to say that your time in level 4 needs to be at least that full 14-day cycle that we've used in the past. So Cabinet has decided to give the city that certainty and to tell you what we already know. Auckland will remain in alert level 4 until 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday, 31 August, and we'll review those settings on Monday. It is absolutely possible to get on top of this. We just need to keep it up and ensure that we're not in restrictions any longer than we need to be. So here's a reminder of the things we all need to keep doing while we remain at alert level 4. Number 1, stay at home. If you're not an essential worker, you should only be leaving your house for the essentials and some fresh air. If you leave home, please wear a mask. And do remember, there are some people in our disabled community who are not able to wear face coverings and have exemptions from doing so. Please remember to be kind. 2, If you are a contact, isolate. Contacts are the people most likely to have the virus and pass it on. Please stay at home. Get others to do your groceries. Only leave to get a test. If you need support, please do ask for it. 3, wash your hands often with soap, then dry them, and of course, cough into your elbow. And 4, get vaccinated. Now is the time to drive up our vaccination numbers. Over 74% of people aged 40 plus are already booked or vaccinated. But in reality, we need that number to be as close to 100% as possible. Please do it now. If you're not booked in yet, please go to www.bookmyvaccine.nz and do your part for the team to help prevent the need for lockdowns in the future. These rules will be so important. To leave level 4, we need to follow them closely. So, to recap, we're currently in level 4. We will all be here until Friday when we review the settings for the country, other than Auckland, who will stay at level 4 until next Tuesday with a review the day prior. This gives us the chance to consider as often as we can whether we are safe to move, depending on where in the country you are. Our plan has worked before, and together we can make it work again. So please stay strong, stay home, and be kind. And let's finish what we started.